Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So, what happened? A lot happened. So, VanEck filed for zero fee Ethereum ETFs until 2025. Let that wash over you. VanEck is going to have their Ethereum spot ETF with zero fees until 2025. Now, if you look backward and you see what they were doing with their Bitcoin spot ETF, they're looking for a 6-month run, which kind of gives me an idea that they might actually just be able to launch their Ethereum spot ETF on July 2nd, because that's the run time for the zero fees, and then they'll get to their real fees after that. Because what they want to do is they want to establish themselves as the go-to company for Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs. They know they're not the biggest out there. This is a very smart move. It really is. It's a really smart move. So I'm sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, kind of goes with that new commercial that's out there. I just watched it a few minutes ago, and it's hilarious. They've got the big banks getting in bed at 4 p.m. and Ethereum tucking them in as it says, yeah, you'll get at it tomorrow. And tomorrow's Saturday. Oh, I know you'll get at it on Monday. While I'm moving billions. It's a funny commercial when you stop and think about it. It's a very funny commercial. And it's very true. Cryptocurrencies move billions of dollars a day. Billions. And that's kind of nuts. When you really stop and think about it, it's kind of nuts. Big business doesn't do that. The commercial is pretty much dead on. They kind of move things 24/7, but not outwardly facing, which means that, yeah, it's not really accessible by everybody. So that's really smart. But I do like the idea of a zero fee Ethereum spot ETF until 2025. That's a very smart move. And I think they're going to win from that, right? I mean, you're not going to beat out a big dog like, Fidelity or BlackRock, but you're absolutely going to cause problems for everybody else. Absolutely. So we'll see how that turns out, and we'll see what happens July 2nd, right? Then you have Cardano. I can't talk about this enough. Cardano was faced with a DDoS attack. That's when your network gets bombarded with so many transactions that it goes down. Cardano got hit with that attack and shrugged it off as if it never happened. If you caught my live last night, that's what I was talking about. Like my mug? Yeah. Got it from one of my best friends in the world, like family, Jimmy Corpus. He is a producer over at Yahoo Finance. Guess who was on Stocks in Translation yesterday? So we shot yesterday, and it will air tomorrow at 12 on Yahoo Finance. Again, the show is Stocks in Translation. Anyway, Cardano gets hit with this DDoS attack. And I bring this up because one of the questions that they had for me late yesterday was, who wins, Solana or Cardano? And I gave them the answer then. I said, right now, Solana's winning. But in just a little while, Cardano's going to blow them out the water. That's pretty much what I said. And you can tell that this is going to happen because you get hit with a DDoS attack and it barely registers. That's what happened. That's what makes it important. A couple of days ago, and I said this last night, a couple of days ago, somebody had, said, well, the reason why, there was such, a network problem for Solana was because, there was so much traffic. In a normal circumstance, I would agree. I would say, you know what? You got a point there. Yep. But that, to me, is not the case for Solana. Why is that? Well, it's because Solana has a network problem. And it crops up every now and then. And they haven't been able to put, as far as I can see, they haven't been able to put their finger on it. So every so often, I think we're going to see a Solana network problem. It might not cause an outage. They've been able to mitigate that, but it will definitely diminish service. And I've said it time and time again. If you're looking for real-time, transactions where you need something to happen in real time, Cardano is not going to be your first choice. Solana is not going to be your first choice. Straight up. After that DDoS attack on Cardano, I've been saying it for a while. Cardano might be boring, but Cardano as a project is untouchable. It might not be the fastest, but it's the most secure. It might not be, the most used, but they've now proven they can take a hit and keep it moving. That's a very big deal. Resilience is a big deal. Security is a big deal. And Cardano's got both. Low fees, big deal. Cardano's got that too. So do I think that Cardano is going to overtake Solana at some point? Yep. Because I think more and more people are going to realize, wow, I can do a hell of a lot with Cardano in real time, cheaply, and not have second thoughts about, is the network going to go down? Is today the day that we suffer, a slowdown or an outage? It's not a question. When you look at the transaction volume of a DDoS attack, and that happens all at once. It's like boom, for an extended period of time, just flooding. And they took it like a champ. I don't know that Solana can take that. I don't know that there are a lot of platforms out there that can take that. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But I think Cardano wins. I really do think Cardano wins in that case, right? Which also means that Cardano is a great platform to have in retail stores. Speed, cost, all cheap. Resiliency, security. That's the big deal. So yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm saying that's a really great thing to happen. A really great thing to happen. Then Binance US. I don't know how they're still in business. I'm happy that I was able to get my my VThor and my VChain out of there. I'm happy about that. I don't know how long they're going to last. I really don't know. They're about to cease operations in Washington State. They've got issues with other states. They've got issues with the SEC. I think it's just a matter of time before they're absolutely just done in the United States. And that's not a small market to be losing in. It's not a small market to be losing in. That's a very big deal. Here's something else that took me for a surprise yesterday. I did a spur of the moment live last night. One of the things I touched on was Coinbase is now not number 2 in the world. It's Binance, used to be Coinbase. Now it's Binance, Bybit, Coinbase. That's right. Bybit has overtaken Coinbase to become the number 2. Oh, that's Stitch. I was wondering these strange sounds. He's over there sleeping on the couch. Nice. I was like, what is that sound? It's Stitch just chilling. But that's a very big deal for Bybit to take over number 2. My question, and it's early in the morning. I haven't had a chance to look it up. Did Bybit just surpass Coinbase, or did Bybit also gain on Binance? And I have to go look that up. I haven't had a chance to do it, but wow. Bybit's not playing games. And here's what's funny. Neither is Coinbase. It's not like Coinbase is sitting on their hands, sitting on their laurels. Coinbase is making moves. But you got to figure, well, Bybit's making moves too. Combined, as an industry, as a centralized exchange space, When you look at Binance, you've got to say to yourself, Binance is getting hit with a lot of problems from all over the world. If they lose the US market, I mean, they're nothing in the US market, actually. Coinbase, I believe, is still number one in the US. But, Binance is still number one in the world. So they're able to be number one without a tremendous amount coming from the United States. That says a lot. But Coinbase is already out there making those same moves, opening up in those same markets, saying, we'll eat that lunch. And Bybit obviously is doing the same thing. I'm expecting these, let's call them the sex wars, centralized exchange wars. I think that's going to pick up. I really do think that's going to pick up, especially when you start to think about, more and more adoption, more and more knowledge. One of the questions I was asked yesterday, what's the biggest problem? And I said, the education of people. A lot of people don't know how to do research. Simple, here's my list of quick questions that I have to go dig into a project. I said, that's the biggest problem. But as more and more people buy my book, Crypto Foundations for Building Multi-Generational Wealth, they're going to learn about crypto. They'll get that information about crypto as they start to, because they're already getting bombarded with information all over the place. But they don't know what's fluff and what's reality. Once that starts to kick in and they can sweep away the fluff and get to the little pearls of reality, that's going to be a big deal. And you're going to see more exchanges. Like I'm fully expecting OKX to step up. I'm fully expecting a few exchanges to start stepping up and flexing across the world. That's kind of what I'm expecting. You want to know what else I'm expecting? When everything really gets humming, I'm expecting a hell of a lot more peer-to-peer transactions. That's what I'm expecting. You walk into a store, that's a peer-to-peer transaction. You're not going through a third party. I walk into the store, I get my bacon, egg, and cheese, I get my Bustelo, and boop, that money's going for that digital asset, whichever one I choose, going from me to the store owner, not from me to a credit card company, to a bank, to their account. That's currently how it works with credit cards. That's a high-level view of how that works. It cuts all that out and just goes boop right into their pocket. That would have almost a profound effect on the economy. Almost a profound effect. And we got into that yesterday as well on Stocks and Translation. I will put the link tomorrow. It will air. I'll put the link up tomorrow so everybody can go see what we're talking about. But we hit on some really good topics. What else is going on? Germany doesn't care. Germany does not care. At this point, you have to say to yourself, Germany knows what they're doing now. If they didn't before, they know what they're doing now. They know the difference between selling in the open market and selling via OTC, and they're still selling in the open market. The difference is that at some point yesterday, people just said, don't care. The numbers are the numbers, and that's going to happen. But at this point, they're just saying, don't care. Whatever. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's very much amazing. So I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like, all right. So why did the market, pop up yesterday? It's because people really came to the conclusion that, oh yeah, so Mt. Gox is not going to be paying out in cash. They're going to be paying out in digital assets. What I've been saying. But it finally dawned on everybody, this is what's going to happen. So the markets eased, and then that was it, because people started understanding. And now people are starting to realize, well, whales are still buying crypto. Whales are still buying Bitcoin. So yeah, there's a few $1 billion that Germany holds, but there are people that are buying that coin. Something to pay attention to. Something really to pay attention to. Something else to pay attention to? Matt Gaetz, U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz, is introducing a bill because he wants you to be able to pay for your taxes using Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a stunt. because they're trying to say, well, the Biden administration doesn't like crypto, and his opponent does. His opponent just started liking crypto. They seized on a moment. Thank you, Gary Gensler. The truth is that I don't care who's in office, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, independent, doesn't matter. There are too many people that don't understand crypto, and that's why they don't like crypto. When people say that crypto isn't anything, it's not worth anything, I go back to, well, the US dollar is nothing more than a promise, because it's not backed by gold. It's not backed by gold. That's when you've got to start wondering about things. Something else we touched on yesterday during the show was a $32.1 trillion debt that we have as a country. That's a serious thing. So you're going to have to save your money there, and we're not the only country. We're not the only country that has an economy that's kind of shaky, has a fiat that's kind of shaky. We're not the only one. And crypto could usher in that new world order. Really good. And that's what people are trying to figure out. That's really what people are trying to figure out. Anyway, you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. So, like I said, I'll be on tomorrow. It'll look like this. There's the host, Jared. That's Sydney. And this is Jared, and that's that guy, Sam Rowe. He was on, just previous to me. But I'll be on tomorrow at 12, which is really, really cool. Jared's a really cool guy. Sydney's a really cool person. But the person that really pulled it together was Jimmy Corpus. Jimmy pulled it all together, made it happen. Just hats off to that whole team, that whole squad. It was awesome. They made my experience. It's the first time. I've done tons of speaking engagements, but this is my first time on a show that's not my own, and professional space and everything. It was a lot of fun. It was loads of fun. Economic data. Don't forget, nothing happens that matters this week until Friday. Get the PCE numbers. Very backward looking, but it's a number that, the Fed uses all the time for what they have to do. And so we will be paying attention to that. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is up to 46. It was at 30 yesterday. I think it's going to pick up some more. I think tomorrow you definitely see a higher number. Total value locked right now is $118 billion, almost $119 billion. Okay, not bad. Then when you look at Bitcoin, again, we're still moving laterally. We have a lot of upward growth, a lot of upward momentum. So if you're looking at coins that you want to buy right now, that you think, it already went up 10%, I shouldn't buy it. Yeah, get that thought out of your head, because you could still buy that coin, because look at where we are. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you look over here, you can see, things look good. There are opportunities here, not popped up. Why? Because they have a high burn rate now. They introduced new tokenomics. It's freaking awesome. Tap swap is gonna do well. Pepe started picking up. Stack started picking up. You just have a lot of things that are going on right now that make you stop and go, wow, this is some good stuff going on. This is some good stuff. Then if you look across the board and you look at these charts, and you're kind of like, this one, that's a stable coin. So it's going to move the same way each time, just like Tether. But you start to realize that, hey, some of these coins are starting to gain some life. And you're like, oh, okay, there's an opportunity to make some money here. Look at Toncoin. There's an opportunity to make some money there, right? Toncoin's been strong for a minute. And it's because they have a built-in use case ready to rock and roll. So does Notcoin, because they're a part of that ecosystem. The same. The big news yesterday, 106,000 freaking coins were launched on Solana in 1 week. 106,000. It'll be a small percentage of those coins that actually do anything. Seriously. I think there'll be too much of a percentage for us to ignore of those coins that are rug pulls. And just a significant percentage of those coins, of that 106, of those coins that are just going to be 106,000, my bad. But a great percentage of those coins that will just be abandoned. What are you doing? We're going to have, so in my class on July 20th, is when we're going to start talking about crypto foundations, right? To give everybody a foundational experience on what it is. And we'll get into how you should start doing research. Because most people don't understand it. They hear some news, they do copy trading, blah, 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 doing things that they don't really understand, but they see people making money from it or think people are making money from it, and they go off and do it. Sometimes with success, sometimes not. But people want to know, like, how do we really do this? How do we really start to understand? And that's what the class is about. So July 20th, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm going to hold this class. I will try to have the registration up for the class today, if not tomorrow. We'll get that done. We will get it all done, and we'll get it up there. Until then, I strongly advise, all jokes aside, I strongly advise you buy the book, because that book is the textbook for the classes that I'm going to start to give. And there's a lot in there, a lot. It's not a quick read. It might seem like a quick read because it's only got 80 something pages in it, but everything in that book is important. Everything. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. Hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, invite somebody else to join the community. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.